All right, so we have our rectangle with our Titan Blend #1 gradient going on in here. I'm going to have you paste that same thing on all 5 of your pages. So let's get our selection tool and click on it, and we're going to copy, Control C. So you go Edit, Copy, Control C, and then let's go just scroll down to your second page and have that in the window. Now instead of doing paste, if I were to do paste, it would end up right there, and then I'd have to go over here on the transform and put in 0, 0 to line everything up. But there's another trick you can do with pasting. If you just go to Edit, Paste in Place, it'll paste it exactly where the other rectangle was on the first page. So that makes it really easy. So we can just keep going, scrolling to all these pages. Oops, let me get that lined up. And then just go Edit, Paste in Place. Go to Edit, Paste in Place. I also want to show you how you can go to each page directly. Before I keep scrolling and doing all this, I want to show you if you go to Window and you open up Pages, it gives you this window here and it shows you all your pages. So if I want to go right to page 5, I can right click on that and then go Edit, Paste in Place. So now you can go to any page that you want just over here on the Pages window. So that's another trick to know. Let's go back to Properties, and I'm going to scroll up and be on our first page. Now what we're going to do is draw some patterns inside all these different pages on these gradients to use as backgrounds for the yearbook possibly. So the first one you're going to do on page 1 is get your ellipse tool, and I want you to draw a circle. So I'm going to start mine off the page because I don't want it to be in the center. I'm going to just start it over here and hold the shift key while you drag to make a perfect circle. If you don't hold the shift key, you end up with these stretched ovals, and so I want them to be circles. So hold the shift key and just draw a big circle like that. And we want it to be filled with Titan Blend 1, so I'm going to click on that on my swatches palette over here. And then the other thing we're going to do is we're just going to lighten it so it's not quite as strong. Some of them can be over here. If you see appearance and it says opacity, just lighten a little bit so that it's kind of see-through. So I'm going to put mine around 48. You can put it wherever you want. This is kind of can be customized however you want. Now before we draw more of these, when we're in this mode here called normal mode, it shows you, it gives you outlines on things, and it's kind of deceiving to what things actually look like. So if you go over here and go to View and say Screen Mode and choose Preview, and what Preview does is it shows you what it looks like without all those lines and everything. So in this case, since we're not trying to line up any text with anything else, it's okay to just go work in this mode here. So Screen Mode Preview. We can just leave it on that for this project. It's easier to work with. All right, so what I want you to do is make a bunch of different circles at a bunch of different sizes. So just keep drawing some circles. Some of them can be smaller, like that. We want them to be the Titan Blend, and I'm going to lower the opacity. Each one could have a different opacity level. It doesn't really matter. Just make them all different sizes. You can even just copy the same ones over and over again. Like if I want to copy this, Control C, Control V, can use that one again and then just make it bigger. Let me copy the smaller one, copy, paste, make it kind of a medium size and have it going off the page. So basically what this is going to be is just maybe some backgrounds for our yearbook pages. So it doesn't really have to be anything specific, so you can just kind of have fun copying and pasting some different sized ellipses here. You can change the opacity of them if you want. You can change the blend direction, like if you wanted to blend the other way, you can get the gradient tool and do that. To me, this is good enough for the first one, so I'm going to go ahead and just leave that one like that, and then move on to my next page. And I think this time I'm going to just do some squares instead of circles. So I'm going to go over here, click the rectangle tool, and just draw some squares or rectangles. If you hold the shift key again, you'll make a perfect square. If you don't hold the shift key, you can make different shaped rectangles. So I'm just going to do squares on this. Once again, I'm going to put it on Titan Blend 1, and I'm going to lower the opacity around 50-ish. And then I'm just going to copy and paste this one just like I did on the last one. And you can have them overlapping a little bit. You can have different sizes if you want. You can leave them the same size. It's really up to you how you want that to look. So in this case, I'm just going to leave mine to be the same size. Alright, so that's another background you can use. And then I'm going to go down here on this one, and this time I'm going to use this polygon tool and do the same type of thing though. I'm going to hold the shift key to get this hex looking shape here, and I'm going to fill it with Titan Blend. I'm going to lower the opacity around 50 and do the same thing. Just make a bunch of different ones, copy and paste. You can make some that are really big. And just going off the edge of the page. Some of them can be smaller. Really, you can't do it wrong. This is a pretty easy assignment, so there's not really a lot of mistakes that you can make. Alright, so there we go. I'm going to stop the video right now. I have these 3 backgrounds with some circles, squares, and these polygon hex shapes. And in the next video, I'll show you how to make a couple other different types of backgrounds, and then I'll show you how to save and export everything. This might be a good time though to at least press save and save the work that you have so far.